India's paint and coating industry is painting a rather rosy picture. Buoyed by the country's impressive growth, the industry is expected to grow to $15.4 billion by 2029 from the current $9.6 billion. The projected compound annual growth rate is expected to be 9.38%. The paints and coating industry is broadly divided into two categories. One is the architectural segment, and the other is industrial segment. While the architectural segment, which is also referred to as the decorative paints segment, caters to residential, commercial, and institutional constructions, the industrial segment fulfills demand for automobiles, consumer durables, and allied industries. Both the sectors are seeing impressive growth. But the competition is more intense in the architectural segment, which accounts for around 70% of the paint consumption on a volume basis. And this segment is likely to see a big churn in the days to come. Grasim, the chemical flagship of Aditya Birla Group, has recently come out with its decorative paint brand Birla Opus. The company is eyeing the second largest share in the sector, aiming to record 10,000 crore rupees in revenues within 3 years. Two other brands, Pidilite and JSW Paints, are also trying to paint their success story. Pidilite had entered the sector last year, while steel major JSW had forayed into it in 2019. But what's attracting big players to the paints industry?
The paint segment is expected to grow in double digits due to booming real estate as well as the infra sector. The refurbishing market too is growing quite well. The margins till now have been excellent, about 20% plus, which the leaders have been able to command due to the perception and limited brands at the top level. However, for the next 2 to 3 years, there will be pressure on these margins due to new players.
The Indian paint industry is dominated by organized players, constituting around 70% of the total market share. Within the organized players, the leading 5 industry players, namely Asian Paints, Berger Paints, Kansai Nerolac Paints, Akzo Nobel, and Indigo Paints, command a substantial 90% market share. So, will the new players shake up the market share of the big players in the Indian paints industry?
The new players are mainly getting into decorative segment and exterior paints. So, to a large extent, Kansai Nerolac will be insulated due to its focus on industrial segment. Asian Paints is already 3.3 times Grasim's projected revenue in 3 years. Thus, it's too large and well entrenched to be affected much, but still, it will feel the pinch in terms of margins, since the new entrants, especially Grasim, is in the investment mode, when possibly they may throw money to get market share, though they are talking about profitability in the 3rd year. The ones which will face the brunt are the smaller national players and the regional players, since they may not be able to match the marketing spend by Grasim and others. Berger, Akzo Nobel, Indigo are the ones which could get affected. Even a JSW could feel the maximum heat of Birla Opus.
The leading 5 industry players have shown impressive growth, achieving a strong compound annual growth rate of 14 to 15% in the last 5 years, from FY19 to FY23. This growth trend gained momentum in FY22 and FY23 after the recovery in demand from key user sectors following the setback of the pandemic, and the fall in the prices of crude oil in 2023 has also been helping the players. Price of titanium dioxide, which contributes around 60% of the total cost of raw materials, has fallen by 30% in the last 1 year. Prices of other raw materials have also declined due to a drop in crude oil prices. But newcomers are likely to face challenges from established players who have strong market presence, well-oiled distribution network, and brand recognition. However, experts believe that strong players like Grasim Industries, Pidilite, and JSW Paints may turn the tables in the long run.
The companies that are coming in are also very credible companies. They are backed by huge balance sheets. They are backed by huge promoter ambition, and they are also backed by fairly good and astute management record. They also have some or the other hook that they hold. For example, Grasim is already there with putty and with white cement and with cement and so on. So they are already there in the place where paint is being used. Similarly, Pidilite, their adhesives are already there. If, let us say, each of them gets a single-digit market share, so that will eat away into the top four.
Clearly, the competition is set to intensify with the entry of big players into the paints segment. The new entrants will not just try to dent the market share of big players, but will also pose a big challenge to smaller rivals. But it's good news for consumers, who are likely to benefit from this increased competition.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.